Well, good evening and welcome back. Delmarva, the Maryland Department of Transportation says there's a high demand in the state for commercial drivers. Senate Bill 709 would help fix the issue starting October 1st in two ways. First, it will help new drivers trying to obtain their CDLs by extending practice time on their learner permits from 6 to 12 months. And secondly, it will help existing CDL drivers by allowing them to use their vision screenings from medical professionals to renew their licenses without having to come into an MVA branch.
And we noticed from the data about 3,000 drivers were not getting through in that 6-month period. So hopefully we know how important it is to get CDL drivers on the road. So hopefully this will make it easier for them.
Now, the Motor Vehicle Administration hopes to encourage more workers to join the commercial trucking industry to fill the vacancies that are in high demand. Moving on here, the city of Cambridge is bringing back its juvenile curfew starting Sunday, all in hopes of preserving peace, avoiding violence, and promoting safety. Anyone under 16 must be accompanied by an adult starting at 11 p.m. on weekends and 10 p.m. on weekdays. Now, there are a few exceptions, but one feature of the new curfew is the implementation of a local care team that's made up of local agencies in Dorchester County. Violators are reported not just to parents, but also to that care team. If parents participate with the voluntary services that are offered, they can avoid a fine. The new curfew will be in effect for a year. And at this time, we're going to throw things over to our own chief meteorologist, Rich Werdzik, for a look at that weekend forecast. Rich?
Well, Rob, some problems to start the weekend in the form of still that mist and drizzle like we're seeing here in Georgetown Shore Auto Sales Skycam. We get going with Saturday, it's going to look just like today, but I promise you, as the day ends, improvements will already be happening. If you don't see any sun tomorrow, you will absolutely see some on Sunday. So I'm guaranteeing at least half the weekend will be nice. One thing that we'll talk about leaving as well is the issue with coastal flooding. Kent and Sussex County still under a coastal flood advisory. I'll talk a little more about that here in a moment. But with some of that flooding coming in with the higher tide, great picture here from Brian Summers sending this in out of Dewey Beach. And you can see there, it kind of looked like snow when I first saw the picture. I was like, what is going on? It's not from this time of the year, but that's actually the foam there from the choppy surf that was coming up along the beach there. Hit 70 degrees today at the Salisbury Airport, below average. Mid-70s are average right now for early fall. Next week will actually be slightly above that, pushing back toward 80 degrees. Didn't get to 70 in some spots today. Cambridge and Easton, highs of 68. Ocean City and Wallops, highs in the low 70s. Weather watchers right now, we've got Josh and Marion Station, I knew that, 65 degrees, up to Chucky and Lewis at 63. A comfortable evening with big rains just off the coast. The ghost of Ophelia, the last of the remnants, just missing us today with some torrential rains. In fact, they had water rescues throughout the day in the New York City and New Jersey area, so it was a horrible day for those folks, and we were right on the edge of the influence of the system. It's just a little further off the sea, and then we're looking at a disturbance. You barely could see a couple showers coming in off the mountains there, which I'll track for you in future casts in a moment. But kind of talking about next week here briefly, the jet stream is going to go north of the area, and an upper level high will set up. Now, this pattern back in July would have meant stifling heat, unbearable humidity, really no chance for rain. It would have been the worst thing in the world. But now that we're in fall, this is good. We're not going to be looking at anything that's oppressive. It's just a warm-up, and that area of high pressure will allow for a ton of sunshine through a lot of next week. So here's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We've got clouds, some fog, by the way. That'll be another issue late tonight, tomorrow morning. But then some clearing tomorrow afternoon. It's when we get into tomorrow night where the clearing skies really take hold. Early Saturday, notice the clouds are offshore at this point, and we're locked in the sun throughout the day. 58 to 63 with drizzle, a few showers, patchy fog late tonight. Tomorrow's Breezer's Carpet Care dog walking forecast. Say hi to Rose, Lily, and Carson. Thank you, Gene, for the picture. Green paws in the morning and then yellow for the afternoon, just in the event that we run into that shower. Your weekend forecast. Again, we're going to start gloomy. We're going to work on making it better. By Sunday, it's going to be beautiful. 77 degrees, mostly sunny skies as that dry air really starts to kick in. Marine forecast tomorrow. Small craft advisories out for the Atlantic and Chesapeake. There's your 7-day forecast along the coast. I'm going to talk a little more about inland Delmarva coming up, and you can see we're getting into the good stuff. We've got more DSI coming up on the other side of the break. Stay with us.